Yeah, hell yeah. You guys get me like fired up too. Like you have no idea the shit that is going on. And I'll try to keep my language to a minimum, even though I don't usually, but out of respect of all your kids. So seriously, it's for those of I know most of you guys know my story. You know like the stuff that I've gone through. You guys, everybody's got a basic understanding of where I'm at. And I don't like need to get into depth detail of my story. And if you don't know my story, reach out to me after the call and I'll gladly tell you, or I'll steer you in the direction of a video that's probably me crying and telling you that story. But honestly, being a coach, I do stuff a lot different. I do stuff a lot different than other coaches. And here's the thing. I don't want it to be like a success story. Like you hear somebody that like crushes fitness and stuff like that. No, like what I do every single day is I plan on crushing life, whether it's my business, whether it's being a dad, whether it's going to work or just every day. I honestly like no shadow of a doubt. I strive to be the best person that I can be today and make that person better than I was yesterday. And the way that I do that is I'm constantly working on myself, consistently working on myself. And I know a lot of coaches are full of crap when they say that they're doing personal development. I honestly do not know what everybody's, I don't know what their idea is. Like coaches will buy, and don't bullshit me either because I know all the tricks. Coaches will buy a book and they'll highlight a phrase that they've seen or a quote in the book that they like. They'll take a picture of it, then they're done for the day. They post about it. They don't take it. They do not relate that quote to their life. They don't integrate as to why that quote stood out to them. There's been no thought process between the message that they received in the personal development to how they're going to apply it to their life. And there's a reason that personal development is one of the 4 vital behaviors. And honestly, yes, I'm going to totally vital behavior the shit out of you guys because there's a reason that they're called vital behaviors. If you're not doing those 4 things, your business is always going to consistently struggle. And I'm telling you right now, I talk to elite coaches and I talk to brand new coaches, and the same answer comes out no matter which one it is. If you stop for 1 minute, if you're struggling in your business and you stop and you say, you're just questioning yourself. You're like, what am I doing wrong? And why am I having such a hard time? Number 1, you're overthinking it. Because if you've already thought that far, you're overthinking everything. Make it stupid simple is what I say. You make it stupid simple, okay? So break down the vital behaviors in your business and do this. Okay, vital behavior 1. I do not call it invite with my team. It's not what I call it at all. I probably do something different than a lot of other coaches do. You just don't realize it. You're doing the same thing. It's friends. I say go out and make friends. And here's the thing. We are a relationship building business. That's what this is. This is a relationship building business. People, what they do is they get to know you. They either vibe with you or they don't, and that's how you find your tribe. They get to know you. They begin to trust you. They like you. They want to work with you. Then they want to work with you, right? So if you're not making new friends every single day, if you're not adding to your network, if you're not adding 5 to 10, and I'm telling you right now, if you want to be a successful coach, you better be doubling and tripling those numbers. Because what we learned from our coaches from 4 years ago, it's not the same. It's not the same. The shit that works 4 years ago does not work now. It does not work now. The market is not saturated with Beachbody coaches, but you know what it is? It's saturated with Beachbody coaches that do not brand themselves and do not stand out and do not find their tribe. We have a group of cookie cutter coaches that use the trainings and the same breakdown, the same posts, the same emotion in every single thing that they do. And our business is duplication. And you want to know what I want to duplicate? I want to duplicate people loving the shit out of themselves and sharing themselves and finding the person that used to be them, finding the people that are just like them. Because guess what? Who's the best person in the world for you to work with? Not just in your business, but in coaching and in health and fitness. It's the person that's just like you, right? I mean, that's the key. That's the key to duplication, is you find yourself. You find yourself, and then you create more, right? How are you finding yourself if you're not adding to your network? That's the question. And that's why I say, if you triple, quadruple those 5 to 10 numbers, yeah, that worked 4 years ago, but you gotta do a little bit more now. You gotta do a little bit more now, okay? So you want to add more to your network. If you're public, if your profile's not public, good luck. Good luck in network marketing. Good luck being an entrepreneur. Good luck using social media. I get some of the reasons, okay? Let me give you one reason that's valid. I was very weary about it at first, because I had restraining orders out on my ex-wife, and because I didn't want public information of what I had going on in my life to be out. And this was like when I was first starting coaching. I was going through divorce, domestic violence cases, criminal cases, being investigated by Child Protective Services. There was a level of concern to have my profile public. But if you're saying it's because you're a mom, like, cut that shit out. Like, your kid's fine. You don't go to the mall and put pillowcases over them. So guess what? That's public too, and people see them. It's okay. They're not coming to steal your kids. It's all right. I'm telling you right now, you can have a public Facebook profile this day and age, all right? It's okay. Nobody's going to be hunting your kids down, I promise you. Promise you. If your profile's not public, here's what you're doing. Even better, if your profile's not public and you're not adding to your network, you want to know what you're doing every single day when you talk about your workout or your shake or your meal plan? You basically open the door to a room of 20 people and go, I had my shake today, guys. Look what I ate, to the same 20 people over and over again. Then coaches wonder why they get this idea that they annoy their family. Yeah, motherfucker, that's all that's on your page is your family. That's it. If you don't want to annoy your family, add more people to your page, add more people to your network. And guess what? Don't walk into a room of 20 and shout that you drank a shake today. Walk into a room of 1,000 and say, you know what? I fueled my body right today. I had my dense nutrient shake today. It's got over 70 all natural ingredients in there. I add fruit and veggies to that. That shit tastes like dessert. Own it. Be confident. That's the biggest thing that, like, you know what? That's the hardest thing for coaches to overcome. Hands down. Hands down. And every single call that I do is different. So you guys are going to get a different call than everybody else gets. And these moments of where I have this epiphany, that's the thing. And that's where coaches get it, is a lot of us, when we start out, the day that we bought a challenge pack, we did not buy a challenge pack to say, guess what? I'm going to own a multi-million-dollar corporation. I'm going to be the CEO of my own fitness competition, my own fitness challenge, my own personal development challenge group. I'm gonna run. You never said that when you bought a challenge pack. When you bought a challenge pack, you were like, fuck, I feel really shitty about myself and I need to fix something. And this is what I'm going to do. So right off the bat, we have self-esteem issues, right? We have self-esteem issues. We have comparison issues. Like, that's the hardest thing that we fight when it comes to doing that shit, right? I think that's coaches' biggest fear, is they're afraid to add people. They're afraid to talk to people. They're afraid that they're annoying their family. They're afraid of everybody else and everything else that's around them other than how they feel. And why? Because most of us, our whole life, when we bought a challenge pack, we did it to better ourselves because we were unhappy, because we did have those. I have high functioning anxiety. So you never know, like, when it's really firing off, because, like, I just hide it well. I either, like, make jokes or do shit, but I'm telling you right now, like, there are times that I used to stress out so bad I couldn't breathe. And you try doing that when you're well obese. I was like a heart case waiting to happen with that anxiety, you know? And I'm learning to curb it. I'm learning to curb it now. So that's why I always tell people I'm gonna get back to the vital behavior. So making those friendships, doing all those things, not worrying about it, adding to your network, that's the important part. That's vital behavior one. It's the invite, because guess what? If they're not your friend, you really have nothing to invite them to. You don't. And basically the invitation, the invite, and all that is that's you inviting them into your life to make a friend, to build trust, to gain a friendship. At some point, they're going to see what you're doing. You don't even have to ask them. They're going to bring it up at some point. They're going to bring it up, or they're going to open a window, and then that's your opportunity. Not be scared. Be confident. That's the biggest struggle that most coaches have, is confidence, because we came from that mentality of low self-esteem, being self-conscious, because we were unhappy with ourselves. So that's why the first thing I always talk about is personal development, because guess what? You truly do need to love yourself. It's not just a cliche thing that us coaches say. I'm going to tell you right now, as a stubborn ass guy, as a former alpha male, I say former because I swear to God, I'm like almost as close to a chick as you guys are. Like, I cry, I weep sometimes in live videos. I swear to God, I cycle with my coaches and shit. I get my period the same time they do. Like, it's crazy. And I'm telling you, being able to work through that stuff, right, it is the key. It really is the key. The reason why I skipped over number 2 is because I work on that one as hard as possible. I sent Taryn my picture that I took today, and today has been crazy for me because I have this old before photo that I use all the time, okay? I use it all the time, and I don't know why I never did this before. So for those of you that don't know, or if new coaches watch this, or whoever you share this with, your team or future coaches, because this is the basis. Like, everything that I tell you right now is number one, the basis that you can utilize, not just in your business, but you can utilize every day. Okay. So I have this old picture, and I have the outfit that I'm wearing in the picture. And I don't know why I've never put it on. I guess it's like, it's a dress clothes mentality. And at the time that I used to wear it going to court for these criminal cases. So it's like, it's one of those outfits where it's like, I knew that I had it, but I never put it on because of like old memories or whatever. I fucking shut it out, and it was in the back of the closet. And I'm running a shift shop challenge group, and I have 250 people in there. They're on round 3, most of them. And I mean, I have coaches that have lost 74 pounds. I have coaches that have lost 68 pounds. And they're in there doing the shift shop right now with me. And I let challengers pick the challenges sometimes. I like to keep it alive. I like to keep it going. So what I do is I let them offer, themselves for a daily challenge. And that's what keeps my challenge groups really going. So anyways, she challenged us to go in our closet and find an old outfit, okay? So vital behavior number 2 is be a product of the product. And here's what I have to say about that, especially given the fact that I do have a transformation. And that's usually the first thing that coaches say is, I can't coach yet. There's no way that I can do it. I don't have a transformation like that. I have a bunch of things that I say about that, but first and foremost, when I started coaching, I wasn't fit. I wasn't this guy. I started at 350 pounds. It was more like 330 when I started coaching, but I was doing Beachbody. I was actually sharing it. I was actually coaching without the actual getting paid to coach at the time when I was doing T25 in December of 2015. I was posting sweaty selfies every single day. I was talking about T25. I didn't know about coach. I didn't know about coaching really at that point. I was posting about T25. I was posting my food. Like, I was doing everything that every coach at that time was doing, and I wasn't getting paid to do it. So what is vital behavior 2, being a product of the product? Well, it's simple. It's you get into a program. You get into a program and you follow it. You don't kind of follow it. You don't semi-follow it. You don't You don't do the fitness and not the nutrition. Who wants to go to work and not get paid? Huh? Who wants to go to work and not get paid? Do you know how hard these programs are? These programs, if you put in the work, they're difficult. You're going to get some crazy results. But guess what? If your nutrition sucks, you're not going to go anywhere. And then you know what you're going to do? You're going to be in comparison city. You're going to be like, oh, my friend Stephanie, she lost like 12 pounds doing this, like last challenge group, and I gained 2. Well, you ate like shit. Let's be honest. Because I used to do the same thing. So like Core de Force came out, right? Core de Force came out and I did the same thing every coach does. I saw the transforms and I was like, dude, I'm going to have abs in 30 days. Abs in 30 days, baby. I'm going to have abs in 30 days, right? Core de Force comes out. I did the whole thing, right? I did the whole thing. And you want to know what happened? I ate clean. Like if anybody that knows me, like I run a clean eating group. I know how to eat healthy. I wasn't following containers though. I'm just being honest. I was eating fairly clean. I wasn't following the foods and the food groups and the meal plans. Like I was adding, I was eating shit that was yellows when I was thinking it was greens, shit like that I found out later. And the only reason that I found out, and the only reason that I'm actually able to preach about this is after Core de Force, I spent some time doing and dabbling in jumping in and out of programs like many coaches do, doing whatever I wanted for a workout and being like, oh, today I'm just going to do Core de Force today. And tomorrow I'm going to do 22-minute hardcore. No, that's not a program. That's awesome that you're doing Beachbody workouts, but like, you want to know what you're doing? You're teaching your coaches and your customers that Beachbody is do whatever you want. It's do whatever you want. Just come on into Beachbody. I'm going to give you over 40 programs and just do whatever you want. Do UV2 today and fucking Insanity Max 30 tomorrow. That's not how it works. And the only reason that I'm able to even preach that is I was in the Shift Shop test group, and that's the only reason I followed the program to a T. I'm being 100% honest with you. If I did not sign paperwork with corporate Beachbody and agree that if they gave me materials before they were distributed widespread between all the coaches and all that other stuff, that I would not distribute any of the material and that I would follow the program and I would follow the meal plan and I would not fall off. And I signed paperwork for that. And I was like, all right. And you know what? I was terrified. And you know what? Don't be terrified, because guess what? It's you versus you. But you need to follow a program. You need to get into a program. And I'm not saying you need to be in a program forever. I'm just saying when you do it, run a challenge group. Be a challenger. Be a challenger all over again. Hold yourself to a higher standard and be the challenger who leads the group. Lead the group. Post with intent. Do your workouts. Don't miss them. Post your meals and keep them legit. And I guarantee you're going to get bomb results. And then when you get results, then you're able to talk about it. And guess what? Not everybody has a transformation. Danielle Natoni does not have a transformation. She has a very, very good Beachbody business. She has zero transformation, and she's been in fitness her whole life. And she's a rock star coach. So that last vital behavior. And what I was saying earlier about if you look at your business and audit yourself, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about, you can look at your business and you can usually pick which one you're not doing enough of. Do more of that and your business will pick up. That was what I was talking about earlier and why the vital behaviors are so important. Vital behavior 4 is recognition. And here's the thing. If you're not recognizing people, coaches, challengers, friends, coaches that you know, because not everybody has a coach to shout out or a challenger to shout out. If you're a new coach, shout out someone's challenger from your team. Shout out somebody who inspires you from your team. Shout out your own coach. This is what happens when you do that. Number 1, your team all support you, so your traction on your post is great. Because who doesn't like to love each other on their team? If you find somebody then they got on the wrong team. Everybody that's on a team with each other, you guys like are linked and connected to some point. Yeah, I don't mean like you want to fucking go and have a barbecue at every single person's house on your team. Some people you just might not care for. That shit happens. But for the most part, the rest of your team is going to come to you and they're going to lift you up. They're going to lift up you and your business. Now, here's the thing with recognition, right? Every single person in the world likes to be told something nice. They do. And let me tell you what's going to be the most fulfilling thing about recognition is being able to make somebody else happy that day. It really has absolutely nothing to do with the actual act of recognizing other than, guess what? You're going to make somebody feel good. And not just that, you're going to make yourself feel good because guess what? Now that I've explained it like that, you're going to recognize and you're going to directly respond to anytime you move an act of recognition to another coach, you're going to feel good about yourself because you're going to say, you know what? I just made that person's day. That person just smiled. That person knows that I give a shit about them because you do, because those are your challengers, your coaches, your friends, right? That's what recognition's about, okay? That's 100% what recognition is about. Now I'm going to give you a couple more things, and these are the most important things, okay? I'm going to give you one that I usually get a couple people to cry, and I'm going to end the call with that. And I'll end the call with questions, but I'm going to make y'all cry first because that's what we're going to do. We're going to cry for it. The first thing that I want you to start doing, and I want you to start doing this tomorrow, and I want you to know that this is not something that's bullshit that's made up that people tell you that will make you positive. This is actual shit that you can do that's going to make you have a better day. And it's not going to start tomorrow, but you're going to start tomorrow. Tomorrow when you wake up, before you do anything, I don't want you to get out of bed and I don't want you to pick your phone up because every human being on this planet goes to electronics or some shit at first. And I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do instead is I want you to sit up in bed, shut your alarm clock off, and stop and think for a moment. I want you to just stop and I want you to say, I'm grateful to be awake right now. And I know that this really is going to sound so simple, but I'm telling you right now, when you have a moment in your day when you can visually see this stuff happen, okay? Because there will be moments when it does. I get up in the morning and I say, oh, I'm thankful to be waking up. I'm thankful to be alive. I'm grateful for my legs. I swing my legs off the bed. I'm grateful that I have legs to get me out of bed. I'm grateful that I'm healthy enough to get out of bed. I slept well. I'm grateful for my sleep. I'm grateful to get up and I'm grateful to start my day, and I'm grateful to be able to work out because some people cannot physically work on themselves. And then I sit down and I read. Even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes, that's when I read. I read. Right now I'm reading Adventures for Your Soul. I read a couple pages and it's cool. And what it does is it starts my mind. I'm getting my mind going for the day, okay? And while I do that, I drink a glass of water and I start my metabolism for the day. Like I have a routine. This is the routine that I followed that successful people do. And I've started to adapt it and make it my routine. So I wake up positive and grateful. I get up. I do personal development for 5 to 10 minutes. I read something. You can meditate. You can listen to music. I don't even care if it's heavy metal. If that's the music that soothes you, you listen to the shit out of it. You listen to it, drink some water, get your metabolism going, okay? Then I gratitude journal, okay? And I gratitude journal, and right when I'm done reading, the next thing that I think about is I say, I'm grateful to have the mental capacity to be able to work on myself emotionally, because some people can't. And there's going to be a moment in your day, because you said that in the morning, you'll run into somebody. You'll run into somebody that's handicapped, and you're going to think to yourself, you're going to remember the morning. You're going to remember when you said that you were thankful enough and grateful enough to have legs to get out of bed. And it doesn't happen all the time, and it doesn't happen right away, but I'm telling you right now, because I've been doing this for so long, there are moments where I meet somebody or I'm introduced to somebody and they have their capabilities are hindered to one degree or another. Like, I coach people with rheumatoid arthritis. I coach people with MS. And like, I coach people with Lyme disease. I don't know what that's like, but I do know what they suffer through from what they tell me, you know? And I'm grateful that I'm able to be healthy. I'm grateful that and these are the things they will remind you, and it will keep you grateful. It will keep you humble. It will keep you grounded. It will keep you grateful for the day and positive, right? And you're not going to win every single day. I'm just telling you, like, I start my day like that and it continues. But you're going to look around and you can visually see people. You know these people. These are the people that you go to work with or school or whatever. The people that wake up first thing in the morning and they say, oh, it's Monday, or oh, again, today we have a big project, or like they wake up stressed out, they wake up negative. And those are the people, you recognize those people as you think about it now. You could probably think of like 4 people that you work with every day that the minute that you get there, they're bitching about the coffee machine, or so-and-so did this, or, oh my God, this, and they're just dramatic people and they're negative. That's how they started their day. They started their day like that, and they can't flip it. They cannot flip it because they started their day like that. The same thing happens when you start out positive. It's near impossible to flip it. And what I mean by you will not win every day is this. You can only control the controllable. There are going to be things that happen to you, or happen to your loved ones, or happen to your belongings at some point in life that you cannot control. You are not going to win every single freaking day. You're not. But guess what? If you win more of the days, you win the week, right? If you don't win the week, win the damn month, right? And if you don't win a whole month, because that shit happens, you have the rest of the year to win the rest of the year. Do not allow yourself to fall down and not get up, okay? Stay positive. So what I do after I do my PD and I do all that gratitude in the morning, I have a journal, okay? And what I do is I write in that journal, okay? Some days I write something grateful that happened the day before. Some days I write down 10 things that I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's the same 10 things. Sometimes I change one. Sometimes there are 10 completely different things. It all depends on that day. I let the pen lead me. Sometimes it's brief. Sometimes it's pages. It all depends on the day, right? And you're going to find that too. You're going to find that too. And like, I highly recommend doing this, right? As a stubborn man that's telling you to do this stuff, like I'm sure that you would envision Melanie Mitro coming on and telling you all this wonderful shit and understand. Yeah, I could see where she's getting it from. I promise you that this shit is actual shit that works. And I thought that it wasn't for me because I'm a guy, or because I didn't believe in it, because I thought it was bullshit, because I thought personal development, how could reading a book help me? How could meditating help me? How could a podcast help me? How could being grateful help me? How could writing a journal and being grateful help me? Let me tell you what, thoughts are things. The law of attraction is a real thing, and that's the reason why it's a law. That's the reason why there's studies on it. That's the reason why people talk about it. Because it's real. Anytime you've told yourself that you couldn't do something, and anytime you told yourself that you can, you were right both times. That's a given. We know that. We've heard that before. It's fear that continues to tell us that we can't, right? So what do? Every single day, I fill my cup up first. Just explain to you that I do to start my day, my water, my journal, my book. I don't get on electronics. I don't do anything negative. I do my best to stay focused on the day and to stay positive. And you know what? I win more often than not. I win more often than not because I'm positive. And for anybody that thinks that I don't win, you're so wrong. I win. I've been unsuccessfully evicted from my apartment for 25 months now. My rent has been late. And you know what? If it wasn't for Beachbody and changing my life, I would not still be living in this apartment. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. So I fill my cup up first every single morning. And why do I do that? Because if I'm not the best me that I can be, I'm no good to anybody else. I'm no good to my kids. All right. And if your cup's not full, you have nothing to pour from. You have nothing to give anybody else. You wake up negative with your cup empty. What do you have to give? Nothing. Empty. Negative. You give negative. You give nothing. You bring nothing to the table in your own life if you wake up and don't fill your cup. Because throughout the day, at some point, you're going to have to give yourself. You're going to have to pour out from that cup. And if it's not full and you're already empty, what are you going to do? Can't pour from an empty cup. You got to fill yours first. You got to fill yours first. Okay? That's important. You guys ready to do some crying? Huh? Come on, you ready to cry? So I want to talk about your why. All right? Because that's something that I don't think will ever change with Beachbody coaching. I think the act of how to coach and how to approach stuff, and the reason why I say I do things differently, I don't do Beachbody trainings anymore per se. So you're the product of the 5 people that you hang out with, right? And I don't physically hang out with these guys. Like, we don't go to dinner or drink beers together or anything like that. But I do talk to them on a regular basis here and there. And Josh Coates is one of them. Cody Jefferson is another one. Cody Jefferson is actually speaking at the Super Saturday Chicago. I actually got him into working with Beachbody coaches and stuff. He's been on my page since I started doing this stuff. Great guy. Brandon Duncan James. Now, these are all push coaches and life coaches and transformation coaches. Another great guy that I talk to frequently is Tommy Baker. He's the author of probably one of the best books that changed my life for personal development. So if you have your pen ready, you ready your pen right now, and I see you on your screen, or you have to come back and watch this recording all the way to this moment to before I tell you what book it is again. And then I drag it out for another minute, and you're like, shit, I walked all the way to here just for that damn book. And he just kept talking. Tommy Baker, he wrote a book called Unresolution. You can get it on Amazon. I recommend getting the paperback. I know a lot of parents with kids, it's very hard to read a paperback book and not either have your kid rip it or put Play-Doh in it or not allow you to read it. So they do have an audible version as well, okay, that you can listen to with headphones on and tune your kids out and become one with yourself. That book, honestly, it changed my life. I don't know what it was about the book. A lot of the stuff that Tommy says in the book, right, is stuff that I've heard. It's stuff that's in other personal development books. I think the way that it was delivered by Tommy spoke to me. So I don't necessarily think that this is the end-all, save-all book for you. But I highly recommend it to a lot of people, and I highly recommend that people check it out because the actual activities in the book and the content of the book itself was great. And there was a period of time where I was integrating the personal development that I was reading into my life. And I was actually like putting pen to paper and doing some writing and, visualizing, what I thought the meaning of certain things were. And I know I have some of them around. I keep them around and I read them. So like, here's the thing. When you're doing personal development or when you're working on yourself, the reason I gratitude journal, the act of writing it and actually like putting the words to paper, it really like has like a double register for you. So not only has it become a thought, but now it's also visualized and it's actually materialized because you've written it down. And then not just that, now that you've written it down, it lasts forever. So guess what? You can always go back to that and be like, oh shit, I remember how I felt when I wrote this. Now the feeling is back. So not only have you thought about it and seen it, but now you've also felt it again by going back and reading it, right? And I think that that's probably one of the most amazing things in the power of writing. So as I was reading Unresolution, I was writing these things, okay? I was writing these things. The power of love will always win was the key to this message that I wrote for myself. And I wrote, be courageous and always stay focused. It's very important to stand in your power. Sagi says that, right? Stand in your power. And that was something that was close to me at that point. And I said, doing this will give you the strength to overcome adversity, negative energy. Do not waste your time on that. It doesn't give anything back. Make sure it feels what you feel too. And that's the only way you will know if it's real. When it's real, it won't leave. It won't make you feel lost. You should feel as if after every moment that passes, that love is still as strong as day one. Love is not forced and love always wins. And like it was a moment of dude, I guess sentimental as shit. Just let me tell you. So when I was writing these to myself, I was reminding myself that because I was trying to go through a lot of self-love at that point because you know what? I had an extreme concern with myself and my personal development that I wasn't able to love myself enough. And I know that it sounds so weird and it sounds weird for me to say it, but
Craig, hold on 1 sec. We're going to get booted off. We're going to get booted off in less than a minute.
Yeah, we'll start again.
I know. Should I start another one?
Yes, I'm not done.
Yeah. All right. I'll make another link. I'll send it right to you.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Hold that thought. We still have to cry.
I know. Stay tuned.
All right.